Big news to come out of St George's Park today is that Marcus Rashford and Jordan Henderson will not be going to the Euros to Germany this summer. Both players are shock omissions from Gareth Southgate's 33-man training squad that he's just named. So Marcus Rashford, 60 appearances, 17 goals, and his poor form for Manchester United, despite some better performances for England this season, means he's not been included. And then Jordan Henderson, 33 years old, 81 caps. I thought he'd get him just for experience, even if it was almost as a glorified cheerleader, and his influence on the bench and coming onto the pitch with 20 minutes to go. But again, he doesn't make the 33 squad, and Southgate will reduce this squad to 26 players on June the 7th, just an hour or so after England's final warm-up game against Iceland at Wembley. Some of the surprise inclusions include Jarell Quansah of Liverpool, Curtis Jones, uncapped Jared Branthwaite, and Adam Wharton of Palace. So they're all got a chance to maybe get into that squad of 26. So despite not playing particularly well for their clubs recently, Jack Grealish, James Maddison and Ivan Toney are all in the squad. They've all got a chance of going to Germany, but they've got quite a bit of work to do. So I still think that when Southgate names that final squad and puts in that form to UEFA, I still think there's going to be some big names who are going to miss out, because I'll be taking Ollie Watkins along with Harry Kane. Southgate's named 4 goalkeepers, but they'll obviously be reduced to 3, so I think James Trafford will probably miss out there. I also think Eric Dyer is desperately unfortunate to miss out. He's been playing quite well for Bayern Munich. He would bring some experience, but Southgate's decided against taking him. But Joe Gomez is in the squad. England's players, they'll have their first training session next Wednesday at Middlesbrough's Rockcliffe Park, and that's ahead of playing Bosnia and Herzegovina at Newcastle St James's Park on the 3rd of June. And then it's that game against Iceland, and then Southgate's going to have some more big decisions to make, but he's certainly made a couple of big ones today.
Good to see you, Gareth. Big day, and you've made some big decisions, particularly in terms of 1 or 2 players that you've left out that have been very important for you for a long time now. Let's start with Marcus Rashford. Why is he not in the list?
Yeah, I mean, these are, of course, difficult calls. You're talking about players that are very good players and who've been an important part of what we've done over a number of years. So with Marcus, I just feel that other players in that area of the pitch have had better seasons. It's as simple as that.
Jordan Henderson too. I mean, he's had a difficult couple of years, really. He went to Saudi Arabia, and from my understanding, a big reason why he came back to Europe was to try and keep him relevant and close and in your thoughts for the England squad. So he's not now in your top 33, apparently. Is he just not playing well enough in your eyes to kind of earn a place at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, the 33 isn't quite a fair definition, because we're taking a longer squad with some young players to have a look at as well. So, I mean, Hendo's given himself every chance. The determining factor is the injury he picked up around the last camp. He's missed 5 weeks and just hasn't been able to get to the intensity in the game since then. So, yeah, look, he's a fantastic professional. That was a really difficult call to make, because he's been so important, so supportive in my time here. And I have to say, all the boys, when I've spoken to them, Ben, Marcus, Jordan, who were the 3 that were with us last time, they were incredibly professional, and considering the disappointment, they dealt with it very well.
You hinted at it there, saying this is a provisional squad of 33. So lots of really exciting youngsters you've brought in that, I'll be honest, we didn't expect. Adam Wharton, for example, Jarell Quansah, Curtis Jones, Jared Branthwaite. But this is a provisional squad. You've got to cull it to 26 by the 7th of June. What chance have those youngsters got of making that final grade?
Well, everybody has a chance. There are definitely some players that we wanted to see. The reason for the longer squad, we were in a similar situation before the last Euros, and more time is going to help us make better decisions and might help us to give a better balanced squad. So there are some injury issues that are very obvious and apparent, and there are some that are a little bit more nuanced and that we don't have all the information on, and sometimes you need to work with the players and see how they react physically to training. So yeah, but this has been as complicated a group as I can remember picking, and we've had quite a few complicated ones. But as I say, I think we can make better decisions by giving ourselves more time, and we've got time. So there are moments where actually time doesn't help you to make a better decision, but in this instance it will.
Hi Gareth. Luke Shaw is included in this squad but has struggled with injury. Just from your point, where is he at the moment, and what's your understanding of his situation?
Yeah, I have to say, he's up against it. He's missed a lot of football. The fact that he's been our first choice in that position, we're probably giving him a bit longer than we might have done. And I'm not sure what's realistic at this moment in time. So I've talked with him. Medical team are liaising with Manchester United very closely. But yeah, I'd have to say he's a long shot.
And in that midfield area, of the midfielders that are in the long list, there's under 100 caps there. Is experience an issue, or feel the players' talent can carry them through?
Well, clearly you'd like to have experienced players, and it's still possible that we can play in a way that we have that. But we need to see some of these younger guys as well. They've had good seasons. We can learn more about them, and they are, we feel, the best players at this moment in time to be able to come and fulfil the roles that we're talking about.
In the forwards area, there's 12 players listed, Jude Bellingham among them. How many are you expecting to cut from that 12 for the final squad?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be obsessed with where we've positioned the players, because some of them could be in different areas of the pitch, so I have to write a list and then these guys put a heading on it. We should just have forwards and backs and it would all be a lot easier maybe, but again, we don't know where we will need to cut. This is part of the issue. If we picked tomorrow, we might end up taking a dozen defenders because we've got so many questions, and we'd obviously rather not do that. So in another couple of weeks, I think we'll be much clearer on a number of issues. So that's why there are opportunities for everybody. I'd also have to say, I think you can take too many forwards as well, and you can have too many options in certain areas of the pitch. And of course, with forwards, you've got to give them love and make them feel special. And if you've got too many, that can also be complicated. So there's a lot to think about over the next couple of weeks. I'd have loved it to have been cleaner and more definitive, but it's not the situation we're in. Jack.
Hi, Gareth. Obviously, Jordan Henderson offers a huge amount in terms of leadership and what he brings to the camp away from the pitch. Are you confident that the squad will be okay in that facet, even without him?
Well, he'll be a miss. There's no question about that. He's an exceptional individual, fantastic human being, and he's been in that leadership role since I took charge. Equally, in the last game we played, we had a lot of our senior players missing. We made Declan captain, and him and one or two others with that space, I thought, really rose to that challenge, and that's what you hope to see and what we have to challenge other people to do. We've got young players with a lot of caps. There's no reason why young players can't lead, and the dynamic will be slightly different, but also you're giving space for other people to mature and develop.
So does that mean we can expect to see a slightly different leadership group within the squad in Germany?
Well, we've moved away a little bit from a defined leadership group for the very reason that I think we've got so many people who lead in different ways and have a voice. And sometimes when you limit that group, actually it means that others don't step forward when they might. They defer to a hierarchy. And we've got too many good influences around the group that I want input from various areas. Now, there will be certain things where I consult with a smaller group, and I think that would be normal for any coach of any team. But I have noticed occasions where, even with a captain, vice captain, there's a bit of deferential behaviour, and we don't want that. We need people to step forward. We encourage it, and over the last year or so, we've allowed that space as well, I think.